Everybody. I'm Christine Bakker from Galaxy of Light, and please remember to subscribe to my channel and also remember to hit the notification button so that you don't lose out on anything in the future. Right, our topic for today is chronic health issues, and I'm going to invite a lovely lady onto the show today, and Mandy is going to tell us all about chronic health issues just to make life a little bit easier for us and also to show us what to look out for, so all the red lights will go on for us when they need to go on. Just give me a moment. Let me go and find her. Hello, Mandy. Welcome to our show today.
Hello, Christine. It's really great to be here again.
Lovely. And we're having beautiful rain today. What's it like on your side?
Well, we've got a little bit of sun peeking out. I hope it's going to peek out a little bit more because I want to make some more of my wonderful homemade bread. So I need my yeast to rise. So I need some sunshine.
Well, you know what? If you want your yeast to rise and the weather's not too good, put the electric blanket on and just put the bowl of dough on the electric blanket. And voila.
That's why I had to share that information. And I actually have one of those. I don't use it for myself because I feel that they're bad, but I will definitely use that to rise my bread. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can see I'm an old baker. I've got all the tips and
tricks. I can see.
Right, Mandy. Mandy, our topic for today is chronic health issues. Would you please just guide us through that, and so that we can also be aware of all the red lights when they start happening, so that we can take precaution and dive into our Lifewave patches. Thank you, Mandy.
Perfect, Christine. So, chronic health issues, we must just have a little disclaimer. We are not doctors. We do not diagnose. We do not treat. But Lifewave is an incredible way for us to support our body's homeostasis. And when we talk about homeostasis, we mean balance. So when we have chronic health issues, and I always say to my clients, it's anything that hasn't fixed itself up to 6 months. If it hasn't fixed itself in 6 months, your body is failing you. So it doesn't really matter what you have. I mean, some people actually send me a thesis from their doctors, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to be able to read all your blood work because that's not my profession. So I do leave that for the medical professionals. But what I say is, no matter what the doctor's prescribed and no matter what the doctor has told you, you can always support your body's wellness journey with Lifewave. And I always opt for something more natural so that we support the body's own functionality before we start adding all the things. However, if the doctor has put you onto medication because whatever you have is life-threatening, you are more than welcome to continue your medication, and Lifewave has no adverse reactions or effects to that whatsoever. Because remembering yet again, Christine, and you know this to be true, is that wonderful little patch, and I'm going to take it out for everyone to see, that wonderful little patch only gives the body light. So I'm going to open up the patch and just show everyone. Once you've taken the back off, you'll see that there is the patch. And inside there, the white little section has got this wonderful pattern of crystals, amino acid, organic plant matter crystals. So nothing synthetic in here whatsoever. Now, these crystals don't go into the body. Nothing's absorbed into the body. There's also no ingredients in this patch, which sometimes makes people feel like, whoa, is this a bit of woo, woo, woo? And it might sound like that, but it's based on technology. So what David has profoundly done is there's a pattern of the amino acid crystals in the patch itself between two plastic sheets. And what it's going to do is it's going to talk to the body like a radio and a receiver. And in so doing, it's going to give different wavelengths of light because of the different pattern on each of the patches. So all you do is make sure that your skin is nice and dry and clean. And I'm going to stick it on the back of my neck. That's where we stick the X49. I'm going to just do my X49 today because that's what I'm busy using at the moment. And all you do is wear it then for 12 hours. Very importantly, to drink water before and after you've patched, because most people are not hydrated enough. We think we drink enough water, but we don't. If you are drinking teas, that will count as your water consumption as long as you haven't got milk and sugar in it. So important for us to remember a few aspects. So, Christine, when we look at chronic health issues, there's a wonderful system that comes from Lifewave. And I actually want to show you quickly, give me 2 seconds so that I can show them the patches. So what we've got is, we call it the Y-Age system for a reason, because they are based with 3 different patches. So you've got eons, you've got glutathione, and you've got carnosine. Now, with your order comes a wonderful little booklet. And if you open up the first few pages, you'll see that there is the glutathione's placements for the patches. The next page, you'll see that there is carnosine placements. They're slightly different. And the next few pages that you go to, you'll see that you've got the eon placements. They're all very different, but some of them have got similar spots that we put our patches on. So that's the first thing that will happen when you get your patches. Now, as a chronic health issue person that wants to perhaps use Lifewave to support what they're going through at the moment, I'm going to share with you our protocol that we use in our team. So the first one is, we're going to be using eon patches at night. I'm going to share a spot that I love to put my eon patches, and that's right about here. And I'll tell you why. Most of us, if you look at most people, their frontal lobe doesn't switch off. They are the thinkers, overthinking, trying to remember what we're going to do tomorrow. So it's a great spot for us to put the patch, because what it's going to do is going to shut off the frontal lobe, take the nervous system out of sympathetic mode, which is fight or flight, being in that war zone every single day. And it's also going to help the nervous system stay in parasympathetic mode. So it's going to take your body out of that I'm being killed when you're actually not, and into that calm state. And very importantly, I like to wear eons at night, because when we are actually sleeping, that's when we heal. So keeping your body in parasympathetic mode at night is helping your body calm down enough to switch on the healing processes and not the defend processes. So a really amazing way for us to keep our bodies in a calm state of being. Also helps to bring down cortisol levels, which is associated with high levels of stress, really bad for us as well, and also brings down inflammation. So that's associated with stress and oxidation as well. So that's a great one to wear at night, just especially if you come home from work and you've had a hectic day at work. You can stick one on and look like a bit of a Hindu, and I don't mind, because I feel like it's really helping me. But there are some other spots that you can put the patches to support some other parts of the acupuncture points that are associated with really supporting your body with inflammation and bringing down stress levels. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. So every day you are going to use a new eon patch for 12 hours. So when you come home at 6, you can put it on, and then 6 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, you can take it off. Now, if you are a healthy individual, you can reuse that patch the next day. So the next evening when you come home, the lifespan of Lifewave patches are 24 hours. However, if you are ailing and you are sick and you are really going through a bad patch with your health, I would suggest a new patch every day, because your body needs more of a boost every single day. So then you remove that patch, throw it away, and then you put on a brand new patch again, and you start the next evening like that. Now,
Mandy, sorry,
yeah.
Can I just stop you there? What I would do with my patch, I don't throw it away. I put it on my doggies so that they can get that lost value out of it.
Yes, thank you so much, Christine. So we don't throw away. We can add it to our doggies. I have found, and that's why I didn't mention you can give it to your spouse, because what we did find, and I'm going to explain this to you, if you or Christine or I use our patches and then we give that used patch to our spouse on an ongoing basis, I found that it wasn't enough to help that person. We can use the second stage of that patch ourselves, because we've been given the, how can I say it, like the 100% the first day, and the next day we get the maybe 50% of the patch. we can do that as an individual, but we can't share that with a person who is wanting to reuse the patches on an ongoing basis. It just didn't seem to give them enough of what they needed to really feel the power of Lifewave. So I hope you understand that I'm explaining.
Mandy, if that second person doesn't have a health issue and you don't want to throw the patch away, but let them just put it on for whatever it's doing for them, is that okay?
You can, but we found that sometimes it just didn't have enough power. I think with animals, it's an easier equation because their bodies are smaller than ours, and they can benefit from that the second use of that patch. But for us as humans, I feel like many of my clients that were giving their patch to their spouse, the spouse felt nothing.
Oh, okay.
So there just wasn't enough in the patch to help sometimes. However, Christine, keeping that in mind, I've had wonderful Louisa in our team who got a very severe burn, didn't have patches at the time, grabbed her used patches and used that for her burn until her new sleeve came, and that really helped. So I do think it all depends on the person. But yes, you could have a bit of a trial and error on that side. So we never say don't do it, but try it out. And if you do feel the benefit, well, then absolutely you can use those used patches. So,
Mandy, I have spasm in my neck at the moment, and I didn't want to walk around with all three of the Y-Age patches on my neck. So I've put it in my little scarf around my neck and just tied it around my neck.
Brilliant. I'm also going to tell you what you can do is you can actually stack them. So you can put one patch on top of the other, and you can place them on one spot, especially if you are wearing a few patches like Christine. Then yes, you can actually do that, wear it on a scarf, or otherwise you can put it one on top of the other. Okay, so the other part, and remembering now that we're speaking about chronic health issues, not if you're healthy. This is about really people that are really struggling with their well-being, and they are wanting to support their body in the most natural way. Then we're going to take carnosine and glutathione, and you're going to alternate these. So Monday, you can start with glutathione, and you can wear it for 12 hours. You'll remove that patch, and you'll place carnosine on the next day. So during the day, you're going to place glutathione and carnosine, and during the night, you're going to place Eon. But as I said to you, there are a few options. If you are going to reuse the patch the next day and you want to, you want to stretch it out over a 2-day period, remembering your healing process will take longer. That's all. Okay. It will definitely still help, but your healing process will be longer. And remembering that any kind of chronic health issue, you need to look at 6 months to a year. Remembering that we are activating peptides with Lifewave. So it's a slower process, but a more meticulous process. Now, if you can, I want to just get it here for you. If you can add the X39 to this equation, and you will do that with either the carnosine during the one day or the glutathione during the next, that will just boost what you are doing with the whole system. So that's going to be activating more of your stem cells. That's going to be helping and boosting what the others do. So Christine, I just want to go through it again just so that everyone understands exactly what each one does, because it's really important. So we spoke about stress, we spoke about cortisol levels, and we spoke about bringing down inflammation. So that's really important. There's another wonderful peptide. I'm not going to associate it with anything because we're not allowed to, but I want you to go and research actinoplastones, and you'll see that this is the peptide that is elevated when you use the Eon patches in particular. Very, very important peptide for many, many health issues, okay? When we are looking at glutathione patches, when we look at chronic health issues, most chronic health issues, if you go and Google it, are associated with low glutathione levels. And glutathione is the master antioxidant of the body, called the mother of all antioxidants. And when you look at Lifewave, able to elevate the production in the body by 300% in the first 24 hours of wearing our patch, it packs quite a punch. So this is the one that could give people a healing crisis. That is why we only use it every second day, because your body will detoxify quite crazily if it's given this patch on every single day. So many people like myself, I don't retain toxicity like others do. So I can wear glutathione sometimes the whole day. I sometimes forget that I've got my patch on. Is it okay to do that? Absolutely. But you shouldn't, because I want to make a note of it that if you wear the patches for 24 hours on a long-term basis, your body's going to stop responding to the light. So it needs to have that break of 12 hours in between. So this is really important for us to remember, that glutathione is very important to protect and repair our cells, and also very important in helping us stay away from chronic health issues, because that's what helps support our body and protect our body. Then we've got carnosine patches. Carnosine we've spoken about before. Christine and I have chatted in depth about carnosine, but carnosine, what it does, it extends your life. So it's very important for telomeres. If you go and Google about telomeres and what telomeres are, you'll see that they are our genes. And at the tip of the gene is what we call a telomere. And a telomere is all around extension of life. It also, when it shortens due to a whole lot of issues that happen in the body, that's when you can get chronic health issues. So carnosine is exceptionally important to support our lifespan, but also supports the wellness of muscular system, the brain, and the heart. And that's really important. So what it does very profoundly is it starts to repair organs. So this carnosine patch is also really good for lung issues and really to support good, healthy lungs. So also remembering any kind of muscular issues, like Christina's got a bit of muscular spasm, any kind of lactic buildup in the body, lactic acid, this is the one for you. Sportsmen, if you've got any kind of cramps and spasm that they have when they are competing, this is the patch that they will use. Also really important for sportsmen, it increases your performance by 124%, which is amazing. So this is very important component of the Y-Age system to support chronic health issues. And then many people say to me, Christine, how long should you wear the patches? Well, we don't know, first of all, what's happening inside your body. Second of all, we actually don't know how long your issue has been around, because remembering that most people only do something about a health issue at the 11th hour. So they've actually had symptoms for years. They've done nothing about it. And then they've had it all, like kind of the wheels fall off the cart. And then they've been doing something about it. So looking at your body as a whole, if you look at your liver, for instance, it needs 90 days, 3 months to repair itself and really get it functioning back to its healthy self. So we need at least 3 months to 6 months to really start getting that homeostasis coming back into the body. And remembering also that we need that length of time to start repairing organs, replacing old cells with new. And that's what Lifewave is all about. It's all about fixing the motherboard, taking it back to its youthful self, the cell, and then duplicating it. And if you do that over and over again, slowly but surely, the body gets its vitality and its wellness back, and it starts to really work at its optimum. And that's what you're going to get out of the Y-Age system from Lifewave. So it sounds a bit complicated, but we have a protocol that Christine will share with you so that you can see it. But once you get going, it's pretty easy. And I mean, I always say to people, sometimes my clients say, I've forgotten. And I say, put a lovely little container in your bathroom that you can put all your sleeves of patches in, like a little box next to your toothbrush. And then you will remember, you brush your teeth at night and before you go to bed, and you brush your teeth in the morning. So you'll remember to put your patches on. And I think, the only time, Christine, that patches don't work is when we don't use them. Correct. So, it's really, really important. If you are really going to, invest in your well-being with Lifewave, you want to take the patches in the right way, and you want to continue to getting the best out of your wellness journey with Lifewave.
I've actually worked all my patches into my budget, so it's like it's on my grocery list.
It should be, because I mean, if we look at our well-being, Christine, how many of us are actually doing something to support our well-being? I mean, I've often been asked by my clients, do we still have to take multivitamins? And I do say, a good multivitamin is a good one to take. And I do believe, but remembering that our guts are often so toxic, we don't absorb anything. I do believe in magnesium. I do believe in vitamin C. And then, Lifewave patches are going to be activating more of your internal peptides to really support your body's well-being. I mean, do you have to stay on supplements? I mean, I don't think it's a hard and fast rule, because if your body is repairing itself with what it's supposed to be doing on its own, then we shouldn't need supplements as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I think it's a choice, and I think it can be a bit of a heated subject with many, depending on how they feel about what it is that they do.
Right. Geez, Mandy, that was very informative. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't, but I'd like to just add how many people that we've really helped with chronic health issues, in particular with myself. I've had quite a few people with rheumatoid arthritis that have come to me opting for the more natural solution and trying not to go more synthetic, or otherwise came to me and said, look, they've tried the synthetic and they just really haven't found that it's helped them. They feel like it's getting worse. I won't say their journeys are easy, because remembering that they are in pain. And we, as we said yet again, we don't diagnose, we don't treat, we're not doctors. But with the support of what they've done with doctors and taking Lifewave patches, there has been massive improvement, because it's supporting the body's own functionality and helping the body do its own job. I think one of the most amazing things that we need to remember, Christine, is that when we are in fight or flight, and very often I see that when I do my skio scans with my clients, our bodies start to switch off major functionality of the body. So for instance, if we need to be kept alive, I mean, our heart, our lungs, and the major organs are going to stay active, but the body starts to switch off things. Now, this is when we start to have chronic health issues, because we don't want the body to switch off. But in all honesty, if we look at how we survive, because that's all we're doing at the moment is literally surviving. If we look at how we're surviving at the moment, we don't drink good enough clean water. We don't eat good enough wholesome home-cooked food. We opt for the more processed stuff. We're not breathing enough. I mean, how many people, when they're having anxiety, don't breathe enough? So, we have to look at a lot of aspects of, how to get our bodies back to its optimum. I think Lifewave is just one of the ways that we can support our bodies in an easier way. I think, our lifestyles have become so busy that we just don't realize our bodies are just trying to keep us upright. And that's not the way that we will keep our vitality at its optimum. So definitely exercise, even if it's just walking around the block, and it's not a block that you kick underneath your bed, having some water, having good quality water, making sure that you're having even a little bit of Celtic sea salt, or otherwise there is this new onyx salt that we get from the Karoo. It's also less expensive than Celtic sea salt, which is also really good to help absorption of water into the cells. And then also a good night's rest, Christine. Healing starts when you sleep at night. And you mix up your biorhythms when you don't get to bed early and you stay awake all night. Relaxation is really important as well. So I think a whole look at what it is that you're doing that has got you to have a chronic health issue is really important, and then putting things in place to change it.
Yes, I really think that they should teach all this in schools, Mandy, from grade 1,
I'm afraid, yes, I do believe that as well. And I believe, another thing they should teach at schools is relationship. I mean, I don't think we're taught how to have relationships, how we're taught to socialize, how we're taught to integrate life. I think there's so many things that can be better suited in a classroom than sometimes the rubbish that they teach us that we don't need.
Yes, absolutely. But Mandy, you sort of touched on the subject of rheumatoid arthritis, and a little story came to mind that I heard about Chris's daughter that had rheumatoid arthritis when she was 7 years old, and how the Lifewave patches actually healed her and took her away from death's edge.
Well, Christine, I chatted with Chris. He hasn't shared that as in depth as he did with me. But that because of her pain, she used to sleep sitting up. And they used to kind of sit next to her and sleep with her to try and help her. And this was quite severe for a very long time. She was on chemo pills for that. And when he was first introduced to Lifewave, he was like, you know what, I don't know if this is going to be the right thing. And when they got to the meeting and he said he sat there listening to this little patch that was going to do so much, he was like, you know what, I've got a mechanical brain. Doesn't make sense to me. Light going into the body and talking to the body, and there's nothing in there but, little crystals, and it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, after the actual session, he spoke to someone who said, please, please, please just try the patches. Anyway, they purchased the patches. They went home, and a month later, his daughter was diagnosed as it's gone. And he went to the hospital. Month. And when he went to the hospital, she was checked and tested, and the doctor said it's sorted. She no longer has it. And it was very sad because Chris said, he looked at those doctors and he said, may I please share what I did for my daughter? Because look at all the kids here that are struggling and suffering with the same thing that my daughter did. And they all just said,
shook their heads.
Have a lovely day, and turned around and walked off. So, we never knock the medical professionals. I believe that there is a place for them. I do. If we got hit by a car tomorrow, you and I can't stick a whole bunch of patches on our body and just expect it to heal. I do believe there'll be wonderful modalities in the future that will help us heal at the speed of light. But up now, we need to have medical intervention. But I do believe that if you have something chronic, I always say, search for solutions. Your wellness journey is your own responsibility. And I do believe that you need to take full responsibility in researching and understanding the body a little bit more and finding out what more you can do to support the body going forward. I do believe that that's what the medical professionals are lacking. They're lacking the modalities to support our bodies to healing rather than just sticking a plaster of a synthetic drug on it. I don't believe in that.
Yes, Mandy, I come across so many people, they always complain about the price of certain health products. And but then when you look at the other side of their life, they spend time going to the movies, jollying and everything, and playing the games and the rubbish and things that they buy and invest their money in, but they don't want to spend money on their health. And to me, that is like, I don't get it. I cannot put two and two together there.
Can I explain to you? My husband explained it to me one day quite nicely. He said to me, Mandy, it's a grudge purchase.
A grudge purchase.
So it's a grudge purchase. They know that they should purchase it for themselves, but they'd rather spend their money on something else more entertaining. And if you look at food and how expensive food has got, in particular to go out and eat today. I mean, you cannot eat out for less than, we went out, my mom and Skylar and myself, no less than 600 to 800 Rand. If you have a dessert, if you have an extra drink, if you have a starter, you're walking out with 1,000 Rand. So, I think it's a responsibility within yourself. Do you want to cut down on that and have quality of life? Or would you like to visit doctors for years and years to come and be on loads and loads of synthetic drugs that is not going to help you in the end, but, just subdue whatever is happening in your body? So I think, over the last 3 years, Christine, we've come through some very interesting times on planet Earth, but I do think that the consciousness of humans have changed slightly. And I do believe that there's a lot of people now that are opting for more natural solutions and also wanting to look after themselves and do better. So I do believe that more and more people will opt for wonderful technology like Lifewave in supporting their well-being going forward.
That's interesting, Mandy. You know what the Chinese believe? The Chinese believe that if they go to the doctor and the doctor keeps them well, they pay the doctor. If they get sick, the doctor's got to pay them. That's how the Chinese believe.
Well, that's an interesting concept. Yes, I wonder how that could work for us.
Well, so if Lifewave is going to keep us healthy, then Lifewave pays us, right?
Absolutely.
Then we've got to go and pay Lifewave. Yeah.
I like that analogy, Christine. I like it.
Right, Mandy, I don't think we've got anything to add there. And I really, I'm sure that our viewers have enjoyed the topic for today. And I trust that we've given them something to take home and go and think about and share with their family and friends. Right, Mandy, I would like to thank you for your time this morning. Thank you very much. And I wish you a pleasant day ahead until next week. Thank you very much, Mandy.
See you next week.
Thank you. And thank you, viewers. Thank you very much for listening. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. Until next week. Bye-bye.